Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. So let's just dive right into this, shall we? Today, we're going to explore the beautiful anatomy of a perfect travel experience. And we're going to do this by unpacking a really short but incredibly poignant story about a beautiful city in Germany. Now, it might seem like a simple narrative from our source material, but as we dig into it today, you'll see it contains the absolute blueprint for a truly transformative journey.
I mean, why do we leave home? It's a massive question, isn't it? We pack our bags, we deal with the headache of unfamiliar transit, we sleep in strange beds. But for what? To answer that, we're going to use our source text to deconstruct the journey of one young traveler, using his specific experience to figure out exactly what takes a trip from being just a standard, run-of-the-mill vacation to a deeply memorable, perfect adventure.
All right, Section 1. Welcome to Munich, a city in Germany.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how the text establishes Munich's stellar reputation right out of the gate, literally before our traveler even sets foot inside the city limits. It completely sets the stage and our expectations by dividing the city's reputation into two really distinct categories. On one side, we have the physical attributes, the impeccably clean streets, the striking historic buildings, and those lush green parks. But the text deliberately pairs these physical traits with intangible attributes, specifically highlighting the friendly people. It tells us right away that a city's true anatomy isn't just made of stone and grass, right? It is built on humanity and its history.
Moving right along to Section 2, A Traveler's First Impressions. Ali arrives. So, shifting from the overarching reputation of the city to the actual boots-on-the-ground reality, we meet our guy, a young traveler named Ali. And man, he is instantly struck by the immediate sensory impact of arriving in a brand new place. The colorful markets, the peaceful gardens, and the magnificent old architecture. Think about that for a second. Have you ever felt that instant amazement in a new place? You know, that sudden sensory rush where the colors just seem brighter and the buildings feel larger than life? Our source text leans heavily into these sensory descriptions to show us exactly how Munich effortlessly captured Ali's imagination the very second he arrived.
Which brings us to Section 3, the power of local connection, meeting the local man.
But you see, the physical beauty of Munich, that's really only the first layer. The pivotal turning point, the absolute game changer of Ali's entire trip, happens when he meets a kind local man while simply walking through the city. This brilliantly illustrates the true core of travel. Look at how it plays out. First, you meet a kind local. Then, you see famous places together. And finally, you share stories of the city's rich history. This sequence perfectly shows how a local guide completely bridges the gap between being a tourist and being a traveler. Suddenly, Ali isn't just blindly looking at old buildings, he is actually understanding the rich history behind them through the voice of someone who lives there. The local man transforms the whole trip from a simple visual tour into an educational, deeply human experience.
Up next, Section 4, Immersed in German Culture, Mapping the Experience.
Let's move to and see how this builds. Because with that human connection firmly established, we can map out how Ali becomes fully immersed in German culture across one perfectly paced day. In the morning, we get the crazy, vibrant energy of the colorful markets. By the afternoon, he's soaking in culture at a beautiful museum and touring famous spots with his new local friend. And then we have this beautifully calming contrast for the evening, just watching the sunset in a peaceful park. It is a wonderfully dynamic schedule that brings together food, art, and nature, completely balancing that bustling exploration with some much-needed quiet reflection.
But hey, immersion isn't just about looking around, it's about participating. Tasting that delicious German food was a huge part of his cultural education. And honestly, just as importantly, before leaving, Ali made sure to thank the people for their kindness. These specific, deliberate actions, tasting the local fare and expressing genuine gratitude, were the exact steps that cemented his deep appreciation. It's what led to his totally sincere promise to visit Munich again.
All right, the final stretch, Section 5, The True Value of Travel, Bringing the Experience Home.
Because let's be real, the true value of travel is really all about bringing the experience home. What happens when the suitcase is unpacked, the laundry is done, and the trip is officially over? Well, when Ali returned home, he didn't just describe buildings or parks. He told everyone, and I quote, "Munich was not only a beautiful city, but also a place filled with history, culture, and warm-hearted people." That neatly and perfectly summarizes the intangible takeaways of his journey. The clean streets and the peaceful gardens were great for sure, but the history, the culture, and those warm-hearted people, that is what actually transformed his perspective.
So the crucial point is, why does this simple fable actually matter to all of us? It breaks down into three really clear lessons. Number one,
travel helps us learn about different cultures. Number 2, it helps us make new friends, just like Ollie did with the kind local man. And number 3, it helps us appreciate the beauty of the world. Guys, this right here is the ultimate blueprint for why we leave our homes in the first place.
Which leaves us with one final, pretty provocative thought. How will you apply this moral to your next adventure? Are you going to actively seek out a local to learn the deeper history of a place? Will you make sure to balance your bustling morning markets with a quiet, peaceful sunset in the park? I truly hope this explainer leaves you eager to explore the world with fresh eyes and with a much deeper appreciation for both culture and human connection. Thank you so much for learning with me today, and safe travels.